Hey guys. Child, it is a time in the land. Girl. So happy Friday, everybody. Let's see if I can move y'all a little bit closer. Okay. So hopefully, Pink, how you doing, boo? How you doing today? I think that's good enough. So hopefully, you all are having a wonderful Friday. Okay, so the reason why I have this scarf on is because I'm going to be doing that 2-strand twist out on hair with no product on it. I'm gonna be doing that on my Makeup for Dummies channel. As soon as I finish here, I'm going over there. I was supposed to do it the very next day, but girl, bye. Girl. So I'm doing it today. 2-strand twist out on hair with no product, so it didn't have a lot of shrinkage to it. So if you're interested in that, then you have to tune in over there. The link to that channel will be in the description box. But if you want to see when I had my hair all out, and I also showed you all, I have an updated how I do my squiggly wigs on that channel. So that link is also, if you look in the description box under Makeup for Dummies, click the link and that'll show you the last video I did showing my squiggly wigs, updated version of how to do it in my hair when it was all out. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing now while I'm chatting with y'all is I'm going to be doing just a little bit of makeup, not nothing major, just a little something. Because I want to look a little cute before I take this hair down, girl, and it be a flop. Because I don't know how it's going to turn out. So I can't be looking, you know, a mess here and then hold it, girl, bye. I just can't. Okay, I just do me over here. So this is not a get ready with me. It's just me doing me while I'm chatting with y'all. So as you all can see by the title, I have a little story time, okay? Because I noticed that I have a lot of young people that watch my channel. So I figured that I could share something that might help them to... Come on, stay. What's wrong?
I didn't know he was doing a video.
Yeah, excuse me, y'all. I'm sorry. This is live in real life. So here we go.
What are you doing?
I'm doing a video. Wait a minute, y'all. My daughter.
What you doing a video about?
I'm just gonna be chit-chatting and doing my makeup and, you know, nosy butt. I'm sorry, y'all. Wait a minute. My daughter has interrupted me.
I did not.
Here you go.
We're trying to cook a meal in here.
What you cooking?
Cooking those ultimate sandwiches that Baby like.
Oh, what you gonna get? Chips to go with it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Baby.
All right. So listen. Shut the door when you go out, Shauna. Okay. So, yeah. So I'm gonna be doing my makeup while I chat with y'all. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Too Blessed. You know what? Let me get this going so I can look at y'all comments over here. Because it's just easier for me to do it this way. So wait a minute, y'all. I also did a what's in my makeup case. I did that video over on my Juicy Tingles channel. So if you're interested in seeing what's in that, I'm getting ready to use it now to do my makeup. But if you're interested, then click on the Juicy Tingles link in the description box. And the link is to the last video showing the what's in my makeup case. Because, girl, I just do me over here, girl. That's all I know how to do is me, girl. It is enough work just trying to do me, girl. Okay, so. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no, that's not what I want to do. All right, so, Shauna, shut my door, stink. Oh, let me turn this down.
You mean this door?
Yeah, because you was kind of loud. Stay.
Oh, sorry.
Do this video. Okay, there we go. Oh, I'm on the big screen. Okay, sorry, y'all. Hi, Majid. How you doing, boo? Okay. All right, that way it'll be easier for me to see y'all comments from here. All right, so anyway, like I said, I have a lot of young people that watch my videos. So like I said, I thought I could share something that could possibly help them from, you know, like maybe making the same mistake that I made when I was once, you know, young. Okay, so yeah. Hi, Jessa. How you doing? Hi, Anifa. How you doing? Kay. Hi, Kay. How you doing? All right, so already moisturized my face and all that kind of good stuff, girl. I hate when I put something down and then I can't find it. Like, really? Oh, here you go. Okay, so all right, let me just start off by saying this, okay? For those of you who may have teenagers, one of the things that I learned, okay, when I was growing up, okay, my mom, you know, I guess old school parents, you know, they were basically like, you know, back then, like you didn't have a voice, okay? It was, you do what I say and that's it, okay? You didn't have no right to give your opinion. You couldn't come back with a but ma, you know, what about the, it was none of that. Back in the day, it was like, shut your mouth, listen to your mama and do what she said. And she would argue, well, ma, you did that. Don't do as I do as I say. Did any of y'all grow up, you know, back during them times with them kind of mommies? Okay. Well, anyway, so when it came down to the birds and the bees talk, you know, like, I don't know, for some reason, like my mom's mom back in those days, you know, the 40s and the 50s, they definitely didn't talk about no birds and no bees. You had to learn either from your big sister or some of your friends or outsiders. And even down to like my mom's group, like they weren't taught that, you know, it was just like, it was a taboo thing to talk about sex with your kids. So that's how my mom was raised. And then when she raised me and my brother at the time, my sister came later, but at the time it was mainly me and my brother up until I was 16. And then she had my sister. But so it was taboo. And so when me and my brother was growing up, the only talk that you got concerning sex was, you better not do it. Okay. You know, if you talking about you want a boyfriend, your mama would be like, I'll be your boyfriend, all right. Or if your brother talking about a girlfriend, I'll be your girlfriend, all right. But you bet it wasn't no talk about, you know, you shouldn't have sex until you get married. But however, I know that things happen. So, you know, let me talk to you about protection. Let me talk to you about, you know, the consequences of having sex. You might get a disease. You might get pregnant. It was none of that. It was just, you better not do it. Period. Okay. And so, and you couldn't have, you know, male friends, you know, they definitely couldn't come around the house. Like so basically what I'm saying is when you do that to your children, you don't scare them into not having sex. You don't scare them into not liking boys, because liking boys and sex, that's like a human nature type situation. You're going to feel, you know, an attraction to the opposite sex or maybe the same sex. It just depends. So the scare tactic that the parents used back then, it didn't work. It only made you be sneaky, okay? It just made you be a child that was sneaky, that knew that you could not come to your mom openly and talk about no boy or having no boyfriend or none of that, none of those feelings, those little sexual feelings you might be having. Like it just became secretive, okay? So you had boyfriends, you liked boys, you did all that stuff, but you just kept it a real big, huge secret, and it just made you sneaky. Okay. So when I first had, now for those, y'all already know, and for those of you who are new, welcome to my channel. I had 5 kids, okay? But I split it up when I talk about certain things, because when I had my first 3 kids, I was very, very, very young. I wasn't married, you know, I was just out there doing me. So I had my first 3 kids, and then my last 2 kids, I was older and, you know, it was by my husband, my late husband. So when I had my first 3 kids, I was very young, okay? And I kind of was falling into that, you know, oh, you better not have sex type situation. And then I even went a step further and I tried to scare my boys into thinking that all girls had diseases. I lied to you not, you know, you live and you learn. I told my 2 sons, I had 2 boys and a girl. My girl was the oldest at the time. And I said, you know, I tried to scare them into not having sex with girls by telling them that all girls have diseases. So, you know, you don't want to touch girls because they got diseases. If you kiss them, you're going to get bumps on your mouth. If you have sex with them, you're going to get all kinds of stuff. So my boys, you know, they weren't dumb. They used to say, well, well, does that mean that you have diseases too? I said, oh, no. I said, all girls have diseases except for your mama. I used to tell her, everybody else got it except for your mama. But they never believed me. But here's the good part about it. You know, so I didn't scare my boys into not touching girls, but I scared them enough that they kept condoms on deck. Okay, like even when they would go for their appointments at the doctor's, the doctor would always give them a bag of condoms. So my boys kept condoms on deck, and you know that was a good thing because you know, like my son now, he's 30. He'll be 30 this year, and he has no children. Okay, he has 0 children. He has a dog named Kalua, and I call it my grandson named Lou, and I ain't mad about it. I ain't mad about it, okay? And my other son, he didn't have his first child until he was 20. No, let's see. I think he may have been 21. He's 27 now. I think he was 21 when he had his first kid. So I ain't mad at that, okay? So, well, anyway, that's what I told my boys. Now, let's just move forward a little bit. The 2 kids that I have now, like I said, I was much older, much more wiser. I didn't tell my son, you know, that all girls have diseases, but I did explain to him that you can get a disease from a young girl, you know, if you don't protect yourself. I told him about mono. You know, if you kiss a girl, you could possibly get, you know, mono. Like I just made it more realistic. Before it was just like no matter what, everybody got a disease. Now I just told him the possibilities. And the same with my daughter. And because like I said, the only thing you do is you just make your kids afraid and you just make them become sneaky. So I know that I didn't make that mistake with my last 2 kids because when my daughter was ready to, you know, like when she started liking a boy or having certain feelings, she came to me and she was like, Ma, you know, is it okay if I have a boyfriend? Because this boy I really like. Now, granted, you know, of course I clutched my heart because it was just like, oh my God. But the only thing that didn't make me really leery is the fact that the guy that she liked, the boy that she liked, he lived in New York City. He was 6 hours away. So I was just like, thank God. I'm just trying to get my kids to 18. She's 15. I'm just trying to get my kids to 18 years old. Like, seriously, because this stuff is driving me nuts, okay? It's driving me nuts. Dealing with these teenagers, you know, with this, you know, boys and liking girls and all this other kind of stuff. Now, the reason why it scares me so much is because, okay, I had my very first, I got pregnant when I was 14 years old. And yes, that is a very young age to get pregnant, okay? So like I said, my mom scared me into not letting her know, but it didn't scare me into being out there. But I didn't have the tools that I needed so that if I did go out there and decide to do opposite of what I was supposed to do. I mean, I wasn't stupid. I knew about condoms, but I don't know. So anyway, here's the bottom line, okay? And I'm going to be trying to do this while I talk because this is going to help me to learn how to talk and do what I need to do at the same time because I'm not good at that. So I ended up getting pregnant at 14 years old, okay? And I'm going to tell you how. Granted, I mean, y'all already know how I got pregnant, but I'm going to tell you the story behind it, okay? So I was dating my daughter's father when I was in high school. Now, I was in high school, but I was only in the 9th grade. Was I in the 9th grade? Yeah, I was in the 9th grade because the high school that I went to, high school started from 9th grade through 12th. I was going to Woodlawn Senior High School in Baltimore. And so anyway, I was dating my daughter's father, and sometimes after school, he would catch my school bus home because I knew that my mom worked. See, me and my brother were latchkey kids because my mom had to work. I mean, it was just no if it. She was married, she had a husband, but my mom worked all my life. So I knew that she didn't get off of work till 4:30, and she didn't get home. Like, I had her schedule down pat. She got off at 4:30. By 5, she was home. We used to get out of school at like 2:30. So I knew that if my boyfriend would come over to my house, he could come over, spend some time, and be gone long before my mom or my stepdad would get home from school. So sometimes he would catch my bus home, and we would go to my house and be in my room and doing all the things we weren't supposed to be doing, girl. No protection, no nothing, okay? So it ended up being that I got pregnant, okay? So when I got pregnant, okay, I used to keep this calendar hanging on my wall right by my door in my bedroom. And my mom used to make me, keep track of my menstrual period. I have to put X's on the first day every day that I was on my period, I'm supposed to put X's. Now, I wasn't real bright. I mean, I was only 14 years old. So every month, I guess sneakily, my mom would come and check just to make sure, that I had X's on my calendar. And at that time, my menstrual was like clockwork, every month, the same day every month I came on. It wasn't it jumped around. It was sporadic. If I came on the 15th of a month, every single month on the 15th I would come on. So I missed my period apparently the month, I had my calendar marked for the month before, and then the next month I wasn't smart enough to say, oh, let me mark this just to, make her think that I came on, even though I didn't. So she came and looked at my calendar. It was way past the date that I was supposed to come on, and she noticed that I didn't have no X's up there. So I lied and I said, I forgot to check it off. So she was like, well, did you even come on this month? And I was like, yeah, yeah. And she was like, well, do you remember when? I was like, no. So I'm sitting up here lying, knowing that I didn't come on. So, child, my mom sat down with me for like an hour, and she was fussing and howling and screaming, trying to get me, you got to remember if you bled or not. You may not remember the exact day, but you have to remember, you can't tell me that you don't know if you even bled this month. So I'm sitting up there crying, and, instead of me just saying, oh, yeah, I remember. I don't remember the day, but, oh, for sure, Well, anyway, she ended up taking me to the doctors, and she was pissed because she was just like, I don't know. Maybe she had that intuition or that gut feeling, that I was pregnant. Took me to the doctor's. Child, the test results came back that I was pregnant. My mom went off, okay? She went off so bad that when we got home, she packed up my clothes and put me in the car and took me down to my aunt's house. Now, by this time, it was summertime. School hadn't long let out, so we was out on a break for summer. She dropped me off at my aunt's house, who lived down in the projects, in Perkins Projects in Baltimore City. Dropped me off. I'm sure she called my aunt, had a conversation with her. So anyway, she dropped me off down there, and she left me down there like she was just like, I don't know, I guess she just needed to not be around because my mother wanted to kill me, okay? And, what I found out later was, that at some point people were saying, that she needed to take me to get an abortion, and she was thinking about it and blah, 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 blah. But, my mom was a Christian at the time. So I guess she was having that battle in her mind of good and evil. It was like, I'm a Christian and I know I'm not supposed to do this, but she's 14 and I'm not trying to raise no baby and blah, 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 blah. Well, anyway, the good side won, and she did not end up having me go get an abortion. So eventually she came and got me, took me home, and just pretty much, was just laying down the law. You are going to, you're going to finish school. You are not going to be no high school dropout. Don't think because you got this baby, you're not going to go to school. You're going to do this, you're going to do that. Like, she just laid it all down. I'm not going to be no grandmother sitting home babysitting. That is not going to work. That is not going to happen. You're going to take care of this baby. You lay down and had this baby. You're going to take care. I mean, she ran that whole spiel down letting me know I was going to go to school. and I was going to take care of that baby. Okay. So eventually she softened up and she got, excited about it, as much as you can be. And she was there for me the whole time. Like my mom really, she did good by me, while I was pregnant. She made sure that all my food was baked. When she would cook, she would put my food separate, bake it. She would always use Mrs. Dash instead of salt on my food. And, like, she just made sure that I did everything I was supposed to do. She put me in a pregnancy school. They had a pregnancy school called, it was called Paquin. I think it was called Paquin, some kind of school that was in Baltimore City for pregnant girls. So she took me out of my, I didn't go back to my high school because, like I said, it was summertime. When school started back up in September, I didn't go back to my high school. She sent me to a pregnancy school because they cater to the girls that are pregnant and make sure you eat right. And, when it's time to have your baby, they have like a work packet for you to take home because they know you're going to be out for 6 weeks. Like they cater more to pregnant girls in school. So I ended up going to that pregnancy school. And then when I had my baby, I had my child in February of 1984. So once I had the baby, I went back to my regular school for like a week, and then I finished out at my high school, which was Woodlawn High School. And then after that, she sent me to another school because she didn't want me to be in the same school with my child's father. Like she hated him with a passion. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But she hated him with a passion, okay? And she did not even want me to be in the same school with him, period. Not knowing that it's boys, no matter what school you go to, there's boys. But I guess she called herself keeping me from being around him since he the one got me pregnant. So she sent me to another high school, Randallstown Senior High School, and that's where I ended up graduating from. But, and then, so I had my baby. And one of the good things, now this is something, okay, basically what I'm trying to say to any young girl out there, whether you're a teenager, even if you're in your early 20s, okay, don't make that same mistake that I made because it was not easy having a baby and going through school. Like I said, I was in the 9th grade when I got pregnant. It was the end of the 9th grade, but I was in the 9th grade. So when she sent me to the pregnancy school, I was in the 10th grade, okay? And then I had my baby, and it's hard. So I had like the rest of a few more months left in the 10th grade, and then I had 2 more years. So I had 2 years of going through high school with a baby. And that's not easy, trying to do homework and your baby crying and needing your attention. And, maybe you don't get no sleep at night because the baby was up all night. And you got to get up and go to school. Like, it's not easy. It's not an easy situation to be in. Thank God I made it through. I did graduate from high school. When I graduated, my daughter was 2 years old. She was out in the audience hollering, "Mommy, mommy, mommy," while I was going across the stage. And but all situations don't work out like that because, thank God during the time that I was in school, my mom had a babysitter. When I first had the baby, she had a babysitter that was coming to the house. And then eventually we had a babysitter that was like 2 streets over from where we lived. But so my mom had to pay for a babysitter. She had to buy diapers. Like everything financial had to come from my mom. So, if she was like in a bad financial situation and couldn't provide a babysitter so that I could go to school, then I may have had to stay home and not finish school. Some girls who can't finish school because they don't have supportive moms or they don't have moms who can financially take care of them and a babysitter and all that kind of stuff. So I was fortunate to have that. So I'm very thankful for that. And as a result of it, my daughter turned out to be a wonderful child. Like I say, she's 34. She has 1 child and she can never have any more kids ever in life. She got her tubes tied and burnt and thrown away. So that's a non-factor right there. She got 4 college degrees. Like my daughter's doing very well. So it all turned out well, but it was a possibility that it didn't have to turn out well. I thank God that my mom, was really strong about the fact that I was going to continue to go to school and take care of my baby. But it was very difficult trying to take care of a baby for 2 years of school, of high school. And so basically what I'm trying to say is, if you can refrain from sex, when you're young, Abstinence is best. You know, it's best to be abstinence. You know, just try not to focus on sex and all that kind of stuff until you get grown, possibly get married, you know, and make sure that, you know, all your ducks is lined up in a row before you start having kids, because having kids makes it hard for you. Even once you graduate from high school, it's hard when you first get out of high school and you know, you're trying to find a job, and you know the responsibility of paying for a babysitter or daycare becomes your responsibility. So it's hard, and you know you got to get up in the morning and go to work. I had to get up at that time. I didn't When I graduated from high school, I didn't have a car, so I had to literally catch two buses to drop my daughter off at the daycare center, and then I had to catch three buses just to get to work, and then vice versa when I get off work. Like it's hard. Even you know it's not just hard until you graduate from high school and then it becomes easy. It's hard to do anything once you add a baby to the mix when you're not ready, when you're not financially ready to have, you know, that type of responsibility. So, you know, don't, you know, just try not to let like boys or guys, you know, talk those little sweet nothings into your ear and, you know, tell you how cute you are and how good you look and, you know, tell you, you know, well, if you really love me, you'll have sex with me and, you know, and all this kind of stuff. And if you do end up having sex, always have a condom, period. Okay. Always have a condom. If he tell you, I don't want to use a condom because it don't feel right or it makes me feel uncomfortable, then tell him, boy, bye. You get none of this without a condom, because I'm telling you, in these days, the STD rate, you know, the venereal diseases, it runs really high in the teenage community. And I don't know if it's because like they're not getting checkups to, you know, get themselves checked out so that if they do have a disease, they can get it taken care of so they don't pass it on. I don't know if it's because they just not using protection. You have a lot of younger girls who's having sex with a lot of older guys. You know, teenage girls having sex with 20-something-year-old guys. And it's just, you know, all these diseases is just spreading around. I'm going to get to y'all's comments in a minute. I mean, I heard a grown woman say on her channel that she has not had a pap smear in 10 years. And I'm thinking, wow, please do not. That's not good information to share online, because then you're going to start having young girls who don't know any better and who may not have that mom or that aunt or that older girl cousin that can teach them the right way, and maybe they listening to YouTube trying to learn stuff. That's bad. That's bad information. That's bad. That's a bad situation. And this is a grown woman. Grown, okay? Not no young 20-something-year-old woman. A grown woman on there talking about she haven't had a pap smear in 10 years. And you like, ain't you worried that, you know, maybe you could have some kind of disease going on? And oh, no, I don't have no disease. I'm clean. I'm this and that and the other. And then people was like telling her, yeah, but what about cancer? Because, you know, pap smears is not just for detecting diseases. Pap smears is to make sure that you don't have like cancer cells growing or tumors or stuff going on, you know, inside of you, or like, I don't know. It's more reasons to get a pap smear other than just diseases. But I don't know. She, you know, she's currently pregnant right now, and she has not had a pap smear in 10 years. And I'm like, what? Okay, listen, girls, it's important to get your body checked, okay? I am with the every 6 months ordeal. You know, every 6 months, you should be getting a pap smear. You know, I know that the doctors do not give young girls pap smears until they're 21 years of age, unless they are sexually active. If you're not sexually active, they do not give you a pap smear until you're 21, unless you have some kind of issue going on there. I don't agree with that, but that's the rule, you know, that they got going on out here. Now, even for us women, adults, as far as the insurance is concerned, they want you to go every 2 years. Okay, first it was every 6 months, then it went to once a year. Now it's they don't want you to get a pap smear for every 2 years. The insurance company won't pay for it. So I'm like, girl, bye. I need me a pap smear every 6 months. Now that's just me, okay? But yeah, you got to get your stuff checked out, because you might can catch, you know, cervical cancer before it gets out of hand, you know. But now they're giving the kids these shots now called HPV, which prevents them from getting cervical cancer. And it's another name that they gave. Well, HPV is cancer. So they're giving you a test. They're giving you a shot now. When you're like, I think it starts at like age 14. I think it's like a 3-series shot that they give you to keep you from getting that. Okay. So yeah, you definitely want to get your pap smears done. But like I say, don't let no man, no boy, even grown people. I have to tell grown people this too, because AIDS is running rampant. There's a very, very, very high rate cases of AIDS in Baltimore. Because grown people, not just young people, grown people they're just not using condoms. You know, they're just not using condoms. And even with condoms, let me just let you know this, that you need to be mindful of. Even with condoms, you're taking a risk, because you got to realize condoms ain't nothing but plastic, rubber, okay? How easy is it to puncture a hole in plastic or rubber? Somebody's nail. Look at that. See? Your nail can go right through it. Your finger can go right through it. If you are having sex too rough, it could easily tear it. The friction can tear it. So even with a condom, you have to be mindful that there's a possibility that this condom can break. And there you go. If this person has AIDS or have some kind of disease, there you go. And you go, well, I used the condom. But if a condom breaks, it's just like not using one. So you have to be mindful of that, okay? You know, maybe just try to get through school, get through college, get your career on the road before you start having sex, if at all possible. But if not, then yeah, I mean, it's best to use a condom than not use a condom, but a condom is not 100% guaranteed, because like I said, they do break. And condoms do not protect you from everything, okay? If a person has lice, then a condom won't protect you from that, because lice lives in your hair, your pubic hairs. A condom don't cover your pubic hairs. So you can still get lice and crabs in that area, even with a condom. So it's you know, it's just best to wait. You know, wait until you get grown. Wait until a man legitimizes you, meaning marry you, okay? If a man, you know, really loves and cares about you, then he will marry you. Point blank, okay? Marry you and then start your family, okay? Now, I'm not saying that you won't get a disease from your husband, because husbands cheat. Husbands go out there and do all kinds of things. So I'm not saying it's a guarantee that you will never, ever get a disease just because you're married. But I think, you know, it's just best to be married. You know, if I come up with a disease, I would rather say that I was legitimately married to my husband, whom I trusted, and I got a disease, as opposed to just saying that I was just out there in the raw, just with some dude that I was dating, or several dudes that I was dating, okay? And then you have to think about it, okay? When you sleep with a guy, then you're not just sleeping with that particular guy. You're sleeping with whoever else he slept with, okay? So when you sleep with this guy, he may have slept with 5 girls before you. So you sleeping with him and all 5 of them girls that he slept with. And vice versa. If you sleep with a girl, you're sleeping with her and all the guys that she slept with, and all the girls that those guys that she slept with, okay? So it's like a chain thing, okay? You're not just sleeping with the person that you're sleeping with unless they are, you know, celibate, as far as, you know, sleeping with other people, or unless, like, they're just not sleeping around. Then that's the only way that you're only sleeping with that one person. So it's just a lot to think about, you know, when it comes to having sex. It's a lot of responsibility that comes with having sex. So you want to make sure that you're ready and that you are prepared, okay? You want to make sure that you are ready and make sure that you are prepared, because there are consequences to this thing. So, yes, I made a mistake and went out there and did what I wasn't supposed to be doing, and I got caught up. The only difference between me and a lot of the young girls that was in my age group is that I got caught. You know, a lot of people, you know, wanted to tell their daughters not to hang around with me. You know, back when I was, you know, 14, I got pregnant. A lot of my friends' moms told them don't hang with me because I was, you know, ooh, don't hang with her. She a bad influence. But they just don't know that their daughters was bigger whores than me. Not that I was a whore. I'm just saying their daughters was pure D whores. Okay, so you trying to keep your daughter from being around me, child, please. Them girls was screwing out of both drawer legs. Some of my girlfriends was screwing out of both drawer legs. They just didn't get pregnant. Or some of them did get pregnant and they went and got secret abortions. Like they had like older they had like cousins or aunts that they was really close to. Like one of my friends, her aunt was like around a couple years older than her and took her to get an abortion. So yeah, them moms, you know, it's like, oh no, don't hang around her. I don't want you around her because she a bad influence. And like I said, your daughter is a pretty hoe. Okay, you just don't know. She's a hoe and she done had 2 abortions. Boom pow. Let me see what y'all talking about here real quick. So yeah, I mean, that was just on me to share, you know, because like I said, I do have a lot of young girls that do watch me.